Oh yeah, that's right. I need to add the thing.
Oh, it's too late now. It's too late now. Hey,
No, it's not.
everybody.
It's
Yeah,
not
no,
too
it's too.
late.
No,
It's
don't
never
do
too late. It's never too late for a countdown, is it?
Wait, are you doing it?
I don't know. I mean,
No. What?
maybe I should.
I mean, I've played with you long.
I gotta use my mic.
Oh yeah, we got 15 seconds to go before the Tellman and Fellman show.
Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, because this is gonna be the most expected of your life.
Hold on to your hats.
Hold on to
for
them.
the hypnotist and the magician.
That's right.
Harris Fellman and Tellman Knudson. Hi everybody, welcome to the Tellman and Fellman show, episode 7,420. No. Oh, 58. Episode 50. I count by seconds usually. So episode 58. My name's Harris Fellman, and that attractive bald man over there.
I'm Tellman Knudson. Welcome to episode 58 of the Tellman and Fellman show. Pop quiz. Who's the first person, Harris, don't give it away if you know the answer. Who's the first person that can tell me what this is? What are we looking at here? What are we looking at? Who can identify this critter? Do you know the answer? Do you know what this is, Harris?
It is it's an original Ant-Man.
No.
It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
No, dude. You know why you don't know what this is?
Because I'm a man.
No. How old are you? 52?
Sure. More.
No, seriously, how old are you? 54? 56.
Is this Tinder? Yes.
Yeah. So I'm 47. I forget that we have the age difference, often. And
I know, because I'm so immature.
I know you do a good job of keeping yourself young. It's good. This is a muscle. I mean, at some point somebody might answer it, but does anyone know what this is? First person to tell me what this is before I mention it on this live stream gets a hypnosis session. Gets a hypnosis session with me. I will do a 60-minute live one-on-one in-person Zoom mindset hypnosis session with you on any topic you decide, if you can tell me what this is before the 3-minute and 30-second mark on this video.
I didn't know we were doing stuff. Okay, if you could tell me what this is, I'll do a magic trick. Just one-on-one magic trick for you. If you know what this is.
I know what that is.
Well, I'm not going to do a magic trick for you.
Oh, well, I do a hypnosis session for you.
You have? Do you remember?
I do. We did it at your house.
In Pasadena, my townhouse in Pasadena.
Maybe we should talk about that. So I'm gonna tell you what this is now, since we're at the mark. This is a Muscle Man. MUSCLE. It's an acronym. They're originally a Japanese toy that came to America and were on the playground getting circulated around the time of Garbage Pail Kids.
I do remember those.
In the 80s. In the 80s, I was on an elementary school playground, and you would have been, I mean, you said you're 56,
I lost my virginity in 1985, Tellman.
Yeah, so you weren't trading muscle men on the playground, hopefully, when I was. You were out of high school by then.
Maybe 83, 84.
What year did you graduate high school?
I'm just more thinking about when I lost my virginity.
I
graduated high school in 1986.
Yeah, so I was 95. So 9 years, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. So this is a muscle man, and there are hundreds of different muscle men, and there are collectors of these guys online and on Facebook. They love them. They pay for these. And
what does that have to do with our topic, Tellman Knudson? Our topic. No, I'm going to make you. You have to tie it into our topic now.
I've already got the tie-in. I've already got the tie-in, but go ahead.
Yeah, you got to tie it into our topic. Our topic today is community. Is community the next marketing trend,
The
direction,
next big thing. I mean,
or is it a fad?
it's a good question. It's a good question. And I have a direct tie-in between Muscle Men and community, which we'll get around to here in just a moment. So great question, right? And man, I have been loving school. I have been soaking up so many
My
trainings.
son does not like school. Oh, the
That's
SKOOL.com
the first time in my
school.
life that I actually like school, right? It's like, um,
No,
uh,
that's not. I mean, actual school, yeah, but maybe. But you actually are a lifetime learner. I mean,
totally,
so
totally.
you do like to be educated.
Oh, I love learning new things and exploring new things and going down new paths and, being curious. And I even like the process of really sucking at something and then getting better at it. Like, I'm down. I'm down.
All right.
Um, so, I mean, we've talked about the evolution of marketing in a couple of episodes in the not too distant past, right? What do you got there? Oh, nice, nice. Um, and you know, there are so many mediums by which we can advertise and connect with our people. And whether the medium is email or whether the medium is text message or whether the medium was for a bit teleseminars, right? And then there are social media platforms. Obviously, there's Facebook, there's TikTok, there's X, there's all these things on social platforms. Then, there's the rise of online sales letters along with email early on, and then video sales letters, which still are extraordinarily effective. And then the rise of webinars, and webinars blew up and they blew sky high, and they're still unbelievably effective in comparison to anything else. And really, like, a combination of email, text message, and webinars are kind of like the golden combo. If you get really good at all these things, then you can usually sell some stuff, low ticket, high ticket, all these things online. But all of them have had an ever decreasing degree of
Efficacy, effectiveness.
efficacy, of responsiveness. I mean, banner blindness sets in. It's like having the same billboards on the interstate for 20 years. Like, you drive by that thing every day, and you know it's there, but you also stop looking at it. You know what I mean? Just to stop looking at the ads.
Until you need it, maybe some of those work for people. Like, I mean, I've always wondered about if you ever pay attention to you know car dealership ads, right? They're just in a cycle
Right,
because they got to hit, and it's probably the same stuff every year,
right,
and for the most part, and because they're going to hit somebody when they're looking for a car. So if it's a
right,
car, that's one thing. If it's a car dealership, that's one thing. Or a ambulance chaser, lawyer, that's might be another. That's very, very. I mean, that becomes direct response. Those better have a phone number on them because you have a pain that you want to solve. But it's interesting, yeah, for sure. You get real banner blindness, but then you're like,
right.
oh, dude, sorry, this is a weird tangent,
All
but
right.
I was talking to Johnny
Andrews.
yesterday, Johnny Andrews, and he said, "You do know that the phone can read your thoughts, right? Or the earbuds, it's in the user agreement." And I'm like, "Nah, earbuds can't read your thoughts." What? What? And he's like, "Yeah, try this. Open up Instagram, scroll a little bit, and think of something." Tellman, I thought of animals, dogs, cats, animals, dogs, cats, animals, dogs, cats. Fucking video with a gorilla. A few more videos away, video with a dog, another gorilla. I was like, what? And then I'm like,
Now,
nah,
now,
this could.
now, hold on, hold on. You were using your phone and you had wireless earbuds.
No, no, you can supposedly put even just your iPhone can be close enough to your head to read your thoughts. Hold on. So
I'm
he said
holding
that he
on. I'm holding right on. We
he
should get him
said that
on here to
he
have a
said
little.
that this is like manifestation at the
Right,
highest degree. But he was, when he was going through his divorce, he was just having a lot of bad divorce thoughts. And then he's like, you know what? I'm going to change the way I think. I'm going to change. I'm going to positive thoughts, gratitude, and his feed started changing. Now, I will say, who knows? But then he goes, think of cows. Next video, two cows drinking out of a thing. I'm like, what? And then I tested it on some other things, and it didn't work, and I was like, okay, that's a crazy coincidence. I said, cow could have been picked up because you just said cows to me in a text message.
All right, hold on. I'm going to try it right now. Okay, so I have Instagram open.
Yeah, scroll a little bit. What I did was kind of like I had the thought and I reset it. I went to Reels and then I came back to the stream and stuff like that. So, because the stream that's there now can't be what you're thinking.
No, but you were talking about animals earlier, and look what I got. I got these chickens. People dressed up in these chicken suits.
So maybe it hears us.
Look, I'm going to scroll. They're playing instruments, playing music. They're all playing saxophones.
By the way, when I Googled if earbuds can do it, the AirPod supposedly doesn't have the technology, but there are a few earbuds that do have a technology that reads your EEG.
Oh.
Anyway, why did I go off on that tangent? What were you talking about that made me think about this?
I don't know.
Maybe just trends or something.
So, well, we were talking about social media and using social media as a marketing medium to reach out to people, on all the different platforms. We were talking email, sales letters, video sales letters, webinars, text messages, and like how these different types of mediums have moved through marketing. You went off on this social media can read your thoughts thing, which, hey, like I'm open to exploring some theories, some internet technology conspiracy theories. I'll go down that rabbit hole.
And there's no privacy laws for that because all the privacy laws are about written and verbal.
Right.
And if they did try to pass privacy laws, people would freak out.
Right. That's interesting. So
yeah. Anyway, so
but here's what I'm seeing. So one of the things that we've talked about, I think this came up with Scott McFall, was just attention. And how do we actually have the ability to get and hold people's attention? Where do people actually want?
I was experiencing the show. You were watching that show. I don't know what we were talking about. I was hypnotized and I did not give consent. I mean, obviously I allowed it, but I did not know I was going to be the subject of, is that what he talked about? Attention?
Actually, this is a good segue. Is Harris, have you had any like interesting things happen or any changes that you've noticed since that show, or has that show had any and the conversation with Scott had any noticeable impact on you? Or I mean, what
I'd have to remember more of what the topic was to see if it related.
No, you don't.
I mean, well, no, but the thing is, I mean, I'm doing 75 hard, so I probably would attribute a lot of things to that framework. I mean, I think I had an immediate confirmation of going in the direction that I want to go in. And I don't know the timeline of it, but I guess with our business, I've started standing up more to what I know, what I believe that I want, having realization, what I want the business to be versus, making sure that my role stays in that direction. I do think that because of 75 hard, I'm having to schedule 3 hours of my day essentially in some way, shape, or form just for it. And it has to be separated enough. So I have to schedule things in between. So I've definitely become more scheduled. And I also, I'm also reading Big Magic, which is very in tune with probably what I felt that Scott was talking about for me, what we discussed for me, which is, I don't know. I wish I remember. I remember more specific words, but I feel like it was more like do what you think is the right thing to do for you, type of, and I don't know if there was any sort of Anyway, so I mean, I feel like I have a decent plan and schedule. I'm trying to lay a foundation of stability between this and Warrior Plus before I add on and 75 hard and it's possible that I don't think I can do what I'm about to mention until I'm done with 75 Hard, because it's basically what I want to do is a creativity challenge called 75 Heart, and
Right.
I that I've made up, and but it's good because sometimes I think you and I rush into things and we don't get the benefit of not rushing into it. So like I've got the idea for 75 Heart, and and now it's sitting, and thanks to our talk with Earl Flermata, I've added the idea of doing, what you and I call a work party, what
Right.
others call a co-work session for the 75 Heart people. I was like, oh, boom, this is because, this is a perfect addendum to it. And I'm not trying to make money with 75 Heart. I'm just trying to live a more creative life for myself. And I've gotten a lot out of the accountability of us getting together, not just for this, but we get together a couple of hours after the Tellman and Fellman show to work on specific things.
Mhm.
Um, that's been my, that's my most productive focus time for our stuff. And then that's and then also the little bit of accountability that we have with 75 Hard. There's four people, four of us doing it at once, which is interesting. I mean, technically, I think we're cheating 75 Hard, because 75 Hard is kind of like what I read anyway, and I didn't read, I'm not as into it as you, is about you being your own self-regulated mental toughness guide, and that's kind of, there's no talk of like, go get accountability because that's going to help you get through this. It's like you got to get through this. And so I do think that which is
I disagree with you. I mean, I would definitely encourage you to read the old book or the new book, because there's nothing discouraging about accountability. But it's also, he doesn't require accountability, because I think people would use that as a cop out. But I don't have an accountability partner, so I can't do this, right? Like it's interesting. Like I did 75 Hard once. I've done it twice before, but I did it once with a group of friends that said they wanted to join me when I told them about it, and and they, interestingly, like, none of them followed through on it, and all of them got really upset because they felt like I was being too solitary and like just doing my own thing and checking in or whatever, and that there wasn't enough like conversation and connection around it. And I was like, I didn't agree with them. I was like, guys, the whole point here is to actually develop your own inner voice and inner strength and follow through on the commitments you make to yourself, regardless of what anybody else does or doesn't do. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
and
the four of us are certainly getting different things out of it, right? Like Wayne is like, I'm starting to dress better, and whatever else, so he's
yeah, be
and he tried
careful.
it before alone, and he only got like 10 or 12 days,
Right,
and we're
right.
on day 2,422
28,
of 70,
28. Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
28, 2,000, whatever. Yeah, anyway.
So, but interestingly, one thing that we do have is the four of us in that group. Three of us are entrepreneurs, right? Wayne has a job, but it sounds like he does maybe magic side hustling or something. I'm not quite sure, but
Just a
like,
hobbyist on magic. He's
um,
just a hobbyist.
but I feel like our 75 hard accountability group is offering some accountability, but we're not like
Yeah, we're not
acting
holding.
needy toward each other. We're being accountable to our own self, but like having the group, like, I really have enjoyed, even though it hasn't been super involved. I've enjoyed having the 4-person accountability group. I don't feel like we have any whiners. And I feel like everybody's ready, willing, and able to help if anybody does like run into a hard time, which is cool. Anyway, I've been really appreciating the group and the community the way that it
Yeah,
is.
I felt it. I felt it. Community. Yeah.
But on that community note, so a muscle man, I collected these as a kid, and then I lost them as I did most of my toys. And several years ago, I was on eBay, and for some reason I searched Musclemen, and I bought this giant box of Musclemen from a soldier in Iraq, an American soldier in Iraq who, I gave him $150 and he sent me like 500 Musclemen or something for,
When were you in Iraq?
I wasn't, he was.
He sent it from Iraq?
Yeah.
Or he sent it, you
No, he
paid
had
him
to
and
get rid of his shit. He was in Iraq for some reason. He brought his Musclemen with him, and he
Oh, that's
decided,
weird.
yeah, it was a little weird. But anyway, I have them set up around my house like little house spirits. And
I have house spirits too, but they're Buddhas.
I have a bunch of Ganeshas that have.
Yeah.
I've,
Did you
I've,
have
I've
Ganeshas
Muslim
before
into
you
Ganeshas.
did you have Ganeshas before you met Ganesh?
No, I mean I was familiar with the elephant god, but I wasn't familiar with. I knew the name Ganesh, but I didn't know anything else.
I think we're just talking now. So sorry, I'm like nobody knows who the this guy Ganesh is, but Ganesh is somebody that Tellman works with for.
We've got to talk about that on some episode. Is the Ganesh awakening story?
Let's get him on.
It's a crazy story. Oh, we should totally get Ganesh on. Totally down.
That would
Yeah,
be
he'd love that.
good. So Muscle Man. So what's the community aspect of it?
So interestingly, like these are little guys. They're products. They're collectibles, right? And these are literally from the early 80s, guys, and they're not breaking. It's alive and well. They're cool because they're waterproof. They're this rubberized material. They don't have any joints, so their arms and legs and heads.
But why do they have lobster hands? Is that lobster hands?
This particular one is lobster. Everyone's different. They're all different, but they have families. They're like, and there's even a cartoon now that got dubbed over from Japan. There's a cartoon on like Netflix or Prime or something. Anyway, the point being that there are several muscle men collector communities on Facebook.
Okay.
There are several groups of people that collect these things. People scan them in, and then they do enlarged 3D prints of these, like foot tall muscle men. Some people will like create their own versions, all these things, and people are just like geeking out over this thing that they have really positive associations from as children, right? Myself included, clearly. And so communities are interesting. When several years ago,
did you have Stretch Armstrong?
I know of Stretch Armstrong, but I didn't have a Stretch Armstrong. Yeah, I feel like
I ate the jelly inside of a Stretch Armstrong
yeah,
when I was 7 or 8.
interesting choice.
Well, it's not toxic, but it's not good.
Yeah, probably didn't make your stomach feel good.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
No. Well, I'm glad you made it through that.
Thanks. I'm like, ooh, jelly.
That's right. But when it comes to community, I mean, what happened was several years ago, Facebook groups popped. Like Facebook groups were introduced, and then they gained momentum, and then people figured out how to make money with them. And Facebook groups, there were several guys in the marketing space, including Harlan, right? Harlan Kilstein, copywriting genius, and Caleb O'Dowd, right? Who were teaching Facebook groups and how to build.
I do want to mention that, community was online communities predated the internet. So I used to work for a company called Galacticom. We made BBS software and hardware, which enabled some, solopreneur, if they wanted, or hobbyist, to have a computer with some of our hardware in their house, and the hardware would allow 8 or 16 phone calls to come in, modem calls to come in to their computer and operate on their computer as the server. So they were like little mini internets, but those were all very community driven, because it was all like literally I went and met the guy when I was 17 years old, way before I worked for the company in Tampa, had a little, 4-person BBS, and you leave messages in the forum and whatever, but it was only there. But then they had I think FidoNet or something net, where they could download the network of other forums that were in the same topic, and now it was like it went that aspect of the community went wider. And then Microsoft, when the web first came out, they came out with MSN was originally forums. It was originally
Right.
communities. I was hired. Uncle Bill, I called it. Uncle Bill Gates paid me $3,000 a month, remote consulting job. And that's probably the equivalent of 6,000 a month now. I mean, it was decent money for me 20 years ago as a community manager. But that was
Oh, you were a community manager 20 years ago. That's interesting.
I was a commute.
I mean, I guess you've mentioned whispers of this, but I didn't quite like
But
lock it in.
yeah, but you know what though? It it wasn't. So I'm just kind of processing it right now. It was a forum. So Warrior Forum is a community,
Yep.
right? Was whatever, was a very important community to the beginnings of internet marketing. And I think all of the um, communities on MSN were more forums. But I was responsible to put content up, I guess, and to get people, hoping that people would discuss content, and having us, stable of links. I think it was the web design forum. Um, but there wasn't a lot of cross interactivity. There wasn't a lot of other people it was more of like, it was just kind of one directional.
Right. Right.
Um, and I would say Warrior Forum, and I know there's a thing called the Magic Cafe, which is pretty much a forum as well for magicians that's built on some old tech. Um,
We,
they're they're forums. They're communities, though. People talk to each other like, "Hey, what do you think of this magic trick? Hey, what
right.
do you think of this? What do you think of Tellman Knudson's new thing
Right.
on Warrior Forum?" So that's a community, but then it kind of ends there too. Like, so I think that's what now is different. Is Facebook groups were part of a bigger platform,
Right.
right?
Right.
You've got the social network over here that's kind of your own personal stuff, and then you've got another group of this is interest, we have similar interests, and you can build a community around that. But it's like it's more interconnected. It's not like this standalone thing.
Right.
And then school, I'm just kind of thinking this out. School is it's you and there's been other platforms that do what school does, mighty
Mighty
form, or
networks.
mighty networks. But one
Circle.
so one thing though, and I don't know if they do one of the things that school does really well, which is allow you to have a course, a paid or unpaid content, and in a course delivery uh, network, platform, whatever you want to call it, that is designed around consuming that course. And then the community is intertwined with that, and
Right.
with a calendar with live events.
You know who did such a good job of creating good community for quite a few years was Mike Hill with Internet Marketing Super Friends. Like that was such a good Facebook group for so long, right?
Yeah,
And then like I don't know the exact sequence of events, but like some terrible things happened in his life. Changed the name of the group. The group kind of died, whatever. But like he did such a good job of curating and creating for many many years. Internet Marketing Super Friends was like it was the place to be for and it was cool because he did a great job of not at all making it about him, even though he was doing like all this incredible work behind the scenes to like connect with everyone and make everyone feel welcome and all these types of things.
it's still there. It's still the same name. There's 22,000 members.
Oh, they changed it back to Internet Marketing Super
Oh,
Friends?
you think it was something else?
I know with absolute certainty for at least a year or two it was named something else.
I can tell you the members, the number one member list in the list for me is Alan Sultanic, and then
Nice.
Liz Tomey, Flo Kunle, Demetrius DePapa, who's a Warrior Forum guy, Jordan Hall, who just had that
Yep.
So yeah, I see Brian Ridgway, who's a personal development guy. I think there's Johnny. Yeah, there's Johnny. I mean, all these are all genuinely people that I do know and recognize.
Yeah, well, geez, I mean, I should go back over there and hang out and give Internet Marketing Super Friends some love. So, like, so here's the thing, guys. With community, it's very interesting because it's not just about the platform. Because, as you said, Harris, communities have existed in the form of forums since the very, very early days of the internet. People have been getting together to discuss things that they're interested in for a long, long, long time, and um, it just so happens that some of the interactive community features and communication mechanisms that are out there now are also popping up at a time where email deliverability is a challenge and email interaction is a challenge, and some of the other mediums aren't working as well as they used to, right? And as easily as they used to. So it's very, very interesting to consider like that people at their core want more community. And I think that communities, I think that the idea of building communities and building communities or facilitating communities to get together more easily and in a more like immersive way, I think is the key. Rather than trying to create a community or building a community from nothing, it's more like finding the community that already is magnetizing, is drawing themselves together, and give them a place to express that in a better way, right?
So hey, I have to take. I'll be right back. Can you keep talking for 2
Oh, I
minutes?
can
But
keep
then
talking.
when I come back, I have something interesting regarding this.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'll remove you from the stage for the moment, Harris, and I'll just talk to myself. So, guys, you're here for episode 58 of the Tellman and Fellman Show. I think Harris had to run to the bathroom. We're here discussing communities and whether communities are just a passing trend and fad, or whether they're the next big thing in internet marketing and incredibly effective way of building a list, of building a following, of building an audience, of connecting with your customers, of getting new clients. Um, and the answer is, I think community is becoming, it's a natural instinct that people have to come together in a community oriented way. And as there are more and more people and more businesses in every market imaginable making more noise, and I'm going to say noise without leadership. You know, it's like a message without a leader, you know, or a message without a mission. It's kind of like, you know, if every day you're just banging out, you know, content for social videos, emails that's AI driven, it might sound good and it might be timely, it might be meaningful, but what's behind it other than some empty words that were written by a robot? The answer is probably very little. And so, as an entrepreneur, that doesn't mean that you can't use AI to do extraordinary things. You most certainly can, but it starts with being some sort of a leader with some sort of vision. You're trying to create something better out there in the world, right? And so, what is in your mouth? Electrolytes, hopefully, something like that.
Not sugar, that's for sure.
That's good. That's good.
Sugar free.
So, I really think that for people, for entrepreneurs that want to build a bigger, stronger, more connected, more loyal audience of clients, of customers, of subscribers, of fans, of followers, I think becoming a better leader and building a better community right now is the single best move you could possibly make. And at least that's where I'm pushing
So
myself.
let's see.
You know, I feel a lot of excitement.
I've asked my friend Chad to compare the two.
Yeah.
So
Compare which two?
community building versus email marketing.
Okay, great.
Okay, since that is our specialty, email marketing. Email marketing is dead, says the two biggest proponents of it. We don't think it's dead. So shift toward relationship building. So there's a trend with a shift toward relationship building, community marketing. As consumers grow more skeptical of traditional advertising, they seek more authentic, meaningful connections with brands. Community building focuses on engaging with your audience on a deeper level by creating a space where customers can interact with each other and with the brand, whether through social media forums, private groups, social media, forums, or private groups. Companies build trust, loyalty, and advocacy, whereas email lists are still incredibly effective for nurturing relationships and driving conversions. However, email marketing often feels more transactional. While you can build a relationship through email, the interaction is usually one way from brand to customer and doesn't facilitate much peer-to-peer engagement. Um, so, yeah, it agrees with you on that. And then I'm just gonna read the other headlines of it rather than the description. So, if there's any of them that you want like me to read more on, or do you want to comment on that, or no?
I mean, what are the other high points?
Yeah, consumers want personalized, interactive experiences.
Yeah.
The rise of social proof and word of mouth marketing, content creation and co-creation. So email lists are primarily like that's how you send that out, but they're not where it sits, you know.
Right.
Sustainability and long-term value, data and analytics, channels of engagement, how they complement each other. Community and email marketing, it's important to note that community building does not necessarily replace email marketing. They can complement each other. You can use email to nurture your community members, offer exclusive content, or provide event updates, while the community provides a space for more in-depth conversations and social proof. Essentially, community marketing builds the foundation of trust, while email marketing can be used for more targeted and tactical messages. Conclusion, which is better for the future?
That's right.
Ultimately, the future isn't of marketing isn't about choosing one over the other. It's about integrating both strategies effectively, blah, 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 which I think that's really some good notes there, honestly, because, it is not one of the, I mean, we know that inherently we would never drop our email lists,
Right.
especially if we were using school and not our own like custom thing that we really truly owned, because,
Right.
then you don't own the relationship. I mean, but even if you own your own community, the email has a different place. Email and SMS messages. And SMS has a different place than email. It's not just glorified email, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, in terms of but the place that your people are going to reside, and the place that they're going to collect, and the place that they're going to communicate and want to be, that can shift, right? So, for example, a couple of years ago, Clubhouse was banging on the door, and like it was
What
cool.
happened there? That was pandemic, though. That was
Yeah,
like,
well, but it's a great example. It was during pandemic, so it's an amplified example. But Clubhouse was I was stoked about Clubhouse. I was like, the return of teleseminars, baby. This is going to be the thing. I can walk around without having to be on video. I can put my earbuds in, walk around the house, and talk about stuff like I used to back in the day on teleseminars. And it had an enormous rise, at least in the marketing community, and then an enormous decline for whatever reason. I don't really understand fully why, but there was a time where more forward-thinking entrepreneurs were all jumping on Clubhouse for the new feature set and the new way we could interact with each other. Right? We could basically have a big group chat together. It was kind of like a radio talk show in a way, like, and you can still use Clubhouse and it's still cool, but it's not trendy anymore. School is unquestionably trending in the marketing community and the entrepreneurial community. And so school is trending. Communities are also on the rise. Communities are trending long term. School is trending short term. And in my opinion, school is a great place to build a community. And we'll be sharing with you how that goes as we start our own. Actually, Harris, maybe we should talk about that a little bit on today's episode.
well, we're over our half hour. We're
No,
approaching
we are.
45.
No, we are.
We can do it. We can talk about that let's give them something to look forward to, Tellman.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, here's the deal, guys. Um, we're working on starting one or more communities on school, and one way or the other, they're all entrepreneurial. We've been and you're going to get an invitation. You're going to get an invitation to one or more communities that we start. But I mean, I feel like you're moving in this direction, Harris. But I've definitely like kind of fallen in love with the idea of becoming a great community creator and community builder. I want to I genuinely want to get really good at it. And so I'm excited about diving into that. And so I mean, we're already kind of starting that with the Tellman and Fellman show. We're creating community with the people that we're interviewing and our long-term viewers that watch all of our episodes, which is cool. But there's more to come. There's more to come. So stay tuned and prepare yourself for a private invitation to our upcoming
community or communities. I'm definitely planning on starting a community around 75 Heart, which I mentioned earlier, and I probably would like to do that in school, and then although I guess I have access to a free high level account, and maybe I'll do it there. No, because what I like about school that high level doesn't have, at least yet, is the discovery, the community of communities, the community of communities.
Yeah.
So I feel like 75 Heart, and yeah, whatever. I mean, I am going to probably do a high level group for Warrior, because I run the Profit Vault there, which is a low end currently membership site,
right.
But we wanted to create community for it, and they have it. And then this was like 2 months ago, and I was like, oh, it's so limited. Their high level one, and they have upgraded it, and it does seem to be a bit better. But it's not going to be perfect ultimately. And school is probably not perfect either. We know people personally have been on these. One of them, Kurt Malley, is like, no, I'm doing Circle, and for whatever his reasons were.
Kurt Malley's using Circle. Croy does not like school. Like, he's not into it.
Yeah, but he's like, I'll just put it on a Facebook group.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, try what you want to try. Right now, I'm very excited about school, both for recurring revenue and free communities that are highly interactive. Like, there's some magic happening over there that I'm personally interested in learning a lot more about.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too.
Rock and roll. All right. Well, you know what? Let's call it for the day, Harris. We had a good talk about communities, and more to come.
Yeah, I think so. Cool. So goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching the Tellman and Fellman Show, episode 58. We'll see you tomorrow on episode 59 when we have special guest. We're not going to tell you.
That's right. But if you want to go ahead and get access to all of our previous episodes, join our email list, and get on the updates, go to www.tellmanandfellman.com, put in your name, email, and phone number. Join us on the inside, join our email list, and you'll be the first to hear about our new community when it launches.
Email is being weird for us. So if you don't get that list from us when you join, just email. There'll be a link. There'll be an email address at the top of Tellman and Fellman, or what is it? support@tellmanandfellman.com. Just let us know, hey, I didn't get that list. But we'd rather you get added to the list so that we can update you of things as they come.
Or if you have any problems, DM us, on Facebook, whatever. We'll work it out. Cool, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you later. Thanks, Harris.
Thanks, everybody. Bye. Thanks, Tellman. Bye.